Hilleberg Acto, KUIU Stormstar, and in my pack is the NORTENT Vern 1. And up there, Storm BERT has got his trousers and pants down, giving it some helicopter. So let's see what happens. So up there where we're heading, Storm BERT is giving it some. Let's see what happens. But there is a mountain rescue refuge up there as well, which we might be enjoying some fine dining in. We're in Northumberland, it's November and going dark. There's some shelter behind the mountain refuge hut here, so in a rare moment of common sense I'm going to pitch out the wind somewhat. Trying to cut down on the big 3 weight wise. I've got a new sleeping bag to try out tonight as well. This is a Cedar Summit Spark Pro -9. I think it's comfort rated. More than that though, I think that's its max rating. But it compacts down nice and small. I think only weighs 785 gram for that rating, which is pretty damn good really. Got some X-Bed hut booties to put on. Get my damp boots off. NXT X-Therm. Should be lovely and warm. And to go under the X-Bed booties, it's the X-Bed synthetic booties. So these are the outer waterproof ones. So this is not a fancy watch I've got in here. Trying out for the first time properly tonight while on a camp. The Phoenix HM75R. This is the full kit with the extra battery, cable for that, one that will go in your inside pocket and extend, and this is the unit itself. Should be fabulous. There's the KUIU Stormstar, looking wide and flat. There of course is the Vern. Looking good. Lovely tent. Very little flapping from the material. Since it's our Christmas camp-ish, we've got the Christmas lighting going on. Oh. Can you still hear the lambs screaming, Clarice? Pie, pie, pie.
Lolly boots.
Put it under our seat. Is that full belt?
Right, we've got a genius plan, or Paul has. We've got a big family steak pie here that is cooking on this. This is a Dometic heater.
Dometic Arrigo.
Yeah, it's a boat heater. You can't get them anymore. You'll see I've used it before on one of my videos. Good for keeping warm. Right, we've got slow fried Lincolnshire sausages and onion and some beans that are going in there, kind of like mixed in. Turn that off now. This is the excellent Soto something or other, and then on top some reggie sauce. Fantastic. Andy here, who is always full of surprises with ingenious equipment, has got a Helicon Tex hand warmer with little zip pockets on and a fleecy inner, and it's right cosy. It's amazing, as was the sausage mash. Right, how's the pie doing, Paul?
That's another 15 minutes at gas Mach 20. 200
It's
or whatever.
bioethanol Mark 2 hours. The man from Del Monte, he say.
Hot.
So we're just going through some fun kit here. Something I've never seen before is the Fozzles Snap Fold Bore. So kind of like what you do with this, it goes flat like this, and then you can snap it together. And this is Paul's bit of kit, and I would have thought it would have fatigued here and started to leak, but he says not, and it makes a pretty cool bowl. You can get all sorts of stuff, so I'm gonna have to look into that. So that's light as. We're also comparing the HM65 Shadow Master. This is the one with a really bright red light, but I've been really impressed with the red light on the HM75. It's the only one I've ever been able to see far by. All the rest of all these kind of like 10, 15 lumens, you can never see anything, but I mean, look at the red light there. And for pudding, what looks like fried custard and a protein bar to make some kind of like cake inside it. Okay, what the benefit of the HM75R is a separate 5,700 milliamp separate power bank. So if we open this up here, there is a really massive 5,000 milliamp hour battery, a 21700. So really what you're carrying around is just an extra big battery, but for the professional user, the benefit is that it's got a really tough cap here, and what it does is kind of like clips on the back really simply, just like that, and using the supplied cable you just attach it to the head torch. So in foul conditions like we've got tonight, you can probably hear the wind howling outside. I would be able to kind of like attach that pretty easily without fiddling around with batteries and the rain and the sleet. And this is definitely designed for the professional user, because these things are pretty tough, you know, thick rubber plugs, designed not to suddenly snap off and to be waterproof. So you just attach that cable from there to there using the cable guys there, and away you go. And of course you can also use this as a separate power bank. Pretty good. We're inside, all cozy in here in the hut, but outside, I don't know if you can hear it, it's kind of like Armageddon now. So I'm going to go and have a little look outside to check that my tent's still there. We're all right. The wind's scooching around the side. Okay, it's blowing 30 mile an hour here now. Here's the KUIU Stormstar. Doing all right. Bit of tension there. Doing okay. And here's the NORTENT, sitting pretty. Just need to tighten these up a little bit. But both tents are doing well. I think the wind's changed direction from the side a little bit. See out here now in those 30 mile an hour crosswinds, The NORTENT is in a direct 30 mile an hour kind of like 3/4 wind. The NORTENT is flexing a little bit more, but definitely sitting pretty happy. Woo! Okay, so it's been a long winter night, and this Phoenix down is down to 1 bar on there, so it's time to put the auxiliary battery on. So we'll just clip that over and it'll go for many hours there. So we just put that in and there, give that a little twist, and that'll be it charging up. Okay, the Stormstar's a bit depressed on this side. You can see the poles bending in a little bit, blowing 25 to 30 now. This is the condition of the Vern too. Definitely a little bit more bounce on it, the whole structure, but it's holding steady. That's just the best feeling when you get your mat blown up and you get off the cold ground. We had a great night with the lads, but it's now it's time to get cozy in bed, get all settled down in the Vern one for the night. So I'm in bed, settled down now. Things are bouncing about a bit, but that's absolutely fine. I wish you can see that. So what I was hoping to bring you tonight is a definitive, the Stormstar versus the Vern 1. But the Vern 1's definitely bouncing around a little bit more than the Stormstar, but it's sitting proud in these strong gusting winds. And I've got the second set of poles with me, but I've had absolutely no urge to put those on at all. It's absolutely fine. The only concession I've made is to put the trekking pole at the end, but made a little bit of difference maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, but the tent's really comfortable, and I'm absolutely delighted to be back in the Vern 1. It's a lovely tent, and it feels super cozy here. Doesn't feel as solid as the hut where Andy's elected to stay rather than put his Hilleberg Acto up, but it's nice and warm and cozy in there, and it's a lovely solid hut. I think it's an ex-railway carriage, something like that. Yeah, so I'll wish you good night, and maybe in the morning I'll bring you a little bit more on the old Stormstar versus the Vern 1 debate. I know for a fact that the Stormstar has a bigger pack size than the Vern 1, and also the Stormstar you can fit 2 people, but then again the Vern 1 does have a smaller pack size and it's £100 cheaper. So for most conditions I think the Vern 1 for me is the way to go, kind of like so far. So I'll see you in the morning, and hopefully Stormbird won't give us too much trouble. And don't forget to give this video a like if you're enjoying it. And also, a lot of you watch these videos but don't subscribe, so please have a click on that subscribe button. I know you don't want to be in bed with a 60-year-old guy in a tent, but if you're enjoying the video, click on subscribe and you'll get to see some more. Thanks very much. 3 o'clock in the morning. Shaking going on. You right? Yeah. Good morning. Right, we're all still standing fine. It's gone clear. So I managed to get some sleep, about 3 hours at the first part of the night and 3 hours at the second. When I was awake, I really liked on this sleeping bag how you can clip either side here and have your arms out. And that was excellent for being able to kind of look at the phone and read a little bit. Now, keep an eye on things because NORTENT are actually bringing out sleeping bags that have got that feature, and also a zip around the bottom where you can take your feet out. So I'm going to get packed up and I'll tell you what little things weren't good in the night. This Phoenix HM75 was brilliant. So I connected the power extender to the back here, plugged it in, and it had been on one bar here, having been on for several hours, and then when I was going to bed it was on full, so I just disconnected it and put it away. So this has been very good. I'll be doing a full review on this later in a comparison to other Phoenixes. Well, what didn't go quite so well? Well, I've got quite a lot of floor condensation, but Paul's reporting the same as well. In these conditions, it's no surprise. And tent stood up well, but was being so distorted, I had to find a sweet spot in the middle where I wasn't being bashed, but the wind was from the side and the side. Now, the other thing that wasn't ideal is I had to peg the door shut. So despite using these clips, twice in the night the doors blew open and had a bit of a situation, but that's fine. But the Vern held up well. The wind now is going in the low 20s. It's a fraction what it was in the night. So space-wise, the Vern one is good, more than adequate for winter camping. The single vestibule's excellent. I love the double door things. So the KUIU vestibules, they've got two, they're much smaller, and the doors are quite low and porthole-like, but evidently you've got more space in here. The big bonus is it's a two-man tent after all. It is shorter than the Vern, so to get out of the buffeting of the tent, Paul probably slept diagonal. We'll ask him. So Paul, how was your night in the Stormstar?
Amazing.
So you were telling me that you had a bit of rattle in the outer, but nothing in, not much in the inner.
Nothing in the inner at all. The inner was solid.
And do you have plenty of space to get away from the tent walls?
It's huge.
Did you sleep diagonally or just straight?
Straight.
Okay.
So,
Andy, how was your hut?
it was quite sturdy actually. Nice pegs.
Yeah, Andy's got decent tent pegs here. Concrete. There's Andy's tent pegs. Right, as we walk down, we'll just do some pros and cons of both tents. Now, things that they have in common is good strength to weight ratio, ease of pitching, so that pitch from the ground up in adverse conditions. Pros of the Stormstar: stability, limpet-like, excellent. You've got two vestibules, perhaps a dry and a wet one you could have. Cons of the Stormstar is pack size and price. Pros of the Vern one are great stability to weight ratio, good pack size, good value price, and we've seen now with the updated poles that whilst it flexes more than the Stormstar, it's got great stability. Now, I didn't measure the peak winds last night, but they were forecast for our location. I think I'll put it up on the screen, like 51 mile an hour or something. And we did have some shelter from the hut, but it was changing direction and gusting round that and hitting the side of the tent. And I know that I had 30 mile an hour winds hitting the side of the tent. I think it was probably gusting up to 40, and then round the other side of the hut more than that. Exactly what hit the tent at times, I don't know, but I had no urge to double pole it. And I can say with some confidence that winds up to 40 mile an hour, no need to double pole. Beyond that, I haven't tested, so I don't know. And it's not that often you'll come across winds when you're out wild camping of more than that. It's a very, very strong wind if you care to measure it. Significant benefit of the Vern 1 is the ability to double pole. That's not an option on the Stormstar. If you'd like more details on either of these tents, I've reviewed them both and I own them both, and I'll put links in the description. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Pop us a like, I'd really appreciate it. Sorry about the puffy eyes, but I've had a good sleep, and I'll leave you in the empty and beautiful Cheviots.